All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Talk, the show we cover the SWAC inside and out. Of course, I am your tour guide around the SWAC, C Wells, coming at you. And we're going to have a little odds and ends type of show, a little random football nuggets here and there, and a little basketball talk. We're going to cover a couple things, and just get in and get out. As usual, the socials are on the screen down below, so you can check those out at your leisure. Like them, follow them, whatever the case may be. While you're here, go ahead and hit that subscription button if you haven't done so already. If you have, then thank you very much. Otherwise, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be alerted to all videos that I upload. And like and share the videos. Hit that like button for sure. And make sure hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about any topics that are covered on the show or anything at all SWAC related. Hit me up on in the comments, and we can chop it up there. So with that being said, tomorrow SWAC Smoke live as usual, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sunday be back with our basketball wrap up for the week. So we'll talk about the action that took place on Saturday when we do our Sunday show, and check out the standings and see how the SWAC races are going. So got basketball all the time on Sunday, Wednesday typically try now like a football basketball type of thing. So just kind of mixing it up. So with that being said, man, we're gonna jump directly into this. We'll start with the cheddar, man. Let's start with the bag. It's always about getting that bag, and Hue Jackson got him a bag. 4 years, $1.6 million total. That works out to 400 grand a year. That makes him the highest paid SWAC coach. Plus, he has some really nice incentives. We'll go over those. So the deal is awaiting approval by the ULS Board of Supervisors, which meets tomorrow. So this contract is not official, but after the meeting tomorrow, it will be, unless something comes up. But right now, it is the deal. Running through some of the numbers, Grambling would pay him 25% of any new revenue generating incentive initiatives, promotions, opportunities, or sponsorships. So that's anything that comes up with the Grambling program that starts under his watch, he gets 25% of the bread. Also, along with his base salary, these are some incentives that he could get: 10 grand for each win against an FBS opponent, 15 grand for winning a Black College National Championship, 25 grand for winning Celebration Bowl, 10 grand for winning the SWAC division, for winning a SWAC division title, 10 grand for winning Coach of the Year, $7,500 for winning the Bayou Classic against Southern, and the largest incentive is if Grambling becomes FBS school under his tenure, then he will earn a bonus of $50,000. So that's a nice little chunk of change if that opportunity ever was to arise. Not really looking at that right now, but he has some really nice incentives, some really attainable incentives. So he'll stand to make a good little chunk of change along with his base salary. So not a bad contract for Coach Jackson. He's the highest paid coach now. He's the only SWAC coach over $400,000. I think there's 3 or 4 coaches right now that are making $300,000 or more. So he stepped it up just a bit, and now we'll see what he can do. And he's also making a splash right now, as far as a hire that may be coming down the pike. It's nothing official just yet, but Art Briles, former Baylor head football coach, is rumored to be the offensive coordinator at Grambling. Reports are saying that they've reached a deal. Nothing's certain yet. All news so far hasn't officially stated that it's a done deal, but it seems to be in the works. That'll be an interesting move to see. I know Coach Briles is kind of undergoing a career rehab after some of the issues that he had at Baylor, which caused him to not coach in college football since 2015. So this is his first college football job if it comes true. So this could be a nice, reintroduction for him to come back into football after a lot of the problems that he had at Baylor. So we'll see, how that goes. I know there may be some backlash from some people about hiring a guy like this, but I'm not gonna make any comment yet until I get the official word that he's the coach, the offensive coordinator. I don't have a problem with him as that position. I think, if he's coming in and he's just doing this and he's not like like in charge of the program, then, there's a lot of things that he won't have to make a decision on. But this is an opportunity for a career rehab. The thing is that I would be wary of is how long he will be on this position if he takes it. Would this be a 2 or 3 year thing? Would this be a one and done type of thing? It's just it's something that we just have to kind of see how it goes and take it one step at a time. But as far as generating news and interest, then this is kind of what you get. What you ask for. You get when you get a guy like this, you kind of get that kind of scrutiny. So we'll see, how this works out. But let me know what you think. If you think that this is a good opportunity, do you think he deserves a second chance? Do you think if he does, maybe somewhere else, not at Grambling? Just let me know what you think, because I know this is a hot button topic. I've seen multiple viewpoints, and I can understand all of them. So everybody got the right to feel how they feel. Some people may not want that in their program. Some people may feel like he served his debt, or whatever you want to say. He did his time, and now he's back, and he can come back and work his way back up. So we're like I keep saying, this is a wait and see type of thing. But just let me know how you feel about it, and we'll go from there. Like I said, it's not official yet, but it's leaning that way for sure. So when it becomes official, we'll definitely talk about it more. Moving on, we're gonna take a dip back into the scheduling world. Valley released their schedule early. I think it was Sunday or Saturday this week, and it's a typical Valley schedule. Man, it's really tough non-conference games, and they always have a challenging schedule. But for once, I think that this schedule is challenging more just because of the opponents and not just because it's Valley. Valley's schedule typically is always hard because Valley, typically isn't a good team. So anybody they play is going to be tough, but they always play a lot of FCS opponents. I don't think they qualified to play FBS opponents, or at one point they weren't a counter in terms of FBS games. I don't know if that's still the case, but they definitely play FCS teams, and they are not afraid to go on the road and play these teams. So they open up their schedule on September 1st, which is a Thursday, at Tarleton State. That's in Stephenville, Texas, if you didn't know. So that's their first game. And then September 10th, they're on the road at Austin Peay. So that's another big FCS matchup. September 17th, they close out their non-conference slate with a home game against Delta State. I think this is the first time they played Delta State since like 2013. So that's a big home game, kind of, local type game. So we'll see, that's a very tough matchup, Division II opponent, but very tough. So non-conference schedule, very challenging for Valley. We will see, what they're working with right out the gate. On September 24th, they're at Jackson State. October 1st, they're at FAMU. October 8th, they host Alcorn. October 15th, they're at Alabama State. October 22nd, they host Bethune Cookman, which is their homecoming. November 5th, they host Alabama A&M. November 12th, they're at Southern. And November 19th, they host Prairie View. So not a great home schedule, but not bad either. A lot of their, they have a pretty tough SWAC slate. I mean, obviously the East opponents, and then you draw in Prairie View, Southern, and Alcorn. Southern was down last year, but you don't expect them to be down as all the time. So that's a tough opponent at home. Still, that's a road game for Valley, so that's never easy. They do get Alcorn and Prairie View at home, so two of the toughest crossover opponents, they get them at home. They get Bethune Cookman and Alabama and them at home. Those road games at Jackson and FAMU are definitely going to be tough. Alabama State is going to be an enigma. We don't know what they're going to do under Coach Robinson right now, and those two FCS games are going to be tough. So this is not an easy schedule for Valley, but this is a pretty good schedule. I don't, if you saw my show last week, I laid out my scheduling preferences. This, pretty much fits into what I like. I would have loved to see one of those FCS games be a home game, but Valley tends to do one-offs with opponents, so they don't really get a lot of games against those teams at home often. So we'll see how that shakes out. We'll see, if Valley can make it happen. I know Coach Dancy is doing, a lot of big things in the Delta right now. So I'm very interested to see how this turns out. So not a bad schedule for Valley. And hey, all right, no complaints from me. So that takes me to one final football thing. I saw a lot of buzz online, no pun intended, about Alabama State scheduling Jackson State for homecoming. Some people were upset. They feel like that's a slap in the face. Some people don't really care. Jackson State did play Alabama State for homecoming last year, so maybe this is a, you do me, I do you type of thing. But that leads me to a slight, kind of discussion, not long, but how I feel about homecoming opponents and who you schedule and when you play them. Obviously, your homecoming tends to kind of be dictated by your actual schedule itself. If you don't have a lot of home games, then you will have to play a homecoming game at certain times of the year. Now some teams, they like to play their homecoming, late in the year. Some teams like to play early. Typically October is homecoming month. Most teams play homecoming in October, some end of September, some early November. But to me, like I said, I don't necessarily have like a huge problem with this. I will say for years, Alabama State played Tuskegee in the Turkey Day Classic, which was also their homecoming for a long time. So they're used to playing rivalry type games for homecoming. So when you look at their schedule, you see they could have probably played Valley for homecoming on October 15th. The other home games they had were September 3rd, which is Miles. That's their first home game. September 24th is Prairie View. To me, that's a little early for homecoming, but if that's what your choice was, that would be okay. November 12th is Florida A&M at home, and then the Turkey Day Classic. So, if they wanted to keep a tradition, then I would have kept the game Turkey Day Classic homecoming. But I don't know how long ago it's been since they stopped doing that. So, if you know, let me know. I just know that for a long time both those things were the same time of the year. Me personally, I prefer an easy game for homecoming because now, as far as me personally, I prefer an easy game because there's a lot going on at homecoming. There's mad distractions. There's people who come to games who haven't been to games since last homecoming. Some people coming to the games who haven't been to a game in years. So you kind of want to give your team, you kind of want to send them home happy. Kind of like a face winning a wrestling match at the end of the show. You want to send them home happy. But if you want to challenge yourself, then I don't have a problem with that, especially if it's a conference game. I prefer non-conference games for homecoming, but if you're gonna play a conference game, that it could be whoever. I feel like homecoming at most schools sell themselves, so you don't necessarily need that name opponent. Now that can boost your tickets. A crowd that's probably going to be very good for homecoming, probably not going to be exceptional because JSU is coming to town. So if you look at it that way, then you probably get more butts in the seat, get more money in the city and for the school. So on the business side, I challenge yourself if it's a business decision. If you're just looking at the game and you just want a celebration of everything, man, roll out, you want to run on wins, have fun. Beat down, people can party and celebrate and go home happy. But, I'm from Southern. We played a lot of tough homecoming games. I mean, hell, Southern got blown out this past season by Prairie View homecoming. We lost to Alcorn for homecoming. We played one year, I think, FAMU for homecoming back in the day. We played Nicholls State back in the day for homecoming. Texas Southern, multiple, tough games at that point in time for homecoming, because for Southern, whoever is going to come to game, the crowd's going to be good anyway for homecoming. So it always just depends on where the schedule falls for that situation. But my personal choice, give me a cupcake for homecoming, man. I'm not trying to, stress too much for homecoming. I want to, as a fan, I want to go tailgate, have me some drinks and go sit in that stadium and, watch a game that I know my team gonna win. Now, hey, sometimes it's cool to have that, that tough opponent come in, and they're gonna be hyped up because you scheduled them for homecoming because they take that as a slap in the face. Your team is motivated. It can be a great game. So I see both sides of the coin, but like I said, my preference, give me a cupcake all day long, man. You could say I'm running from competition or whatever. I'm playing these guys anyway on the schedule. I just don't need to play them for homecoming. So, it's not a case of not scheduling somebody for homecoming. I'm just talking about if you look at the schedule and you run down the teams that are there, I prefer the easier game. Now, like I said, if you're a school that don't really draw that well, then yeah, you probably want to, double up your homecoming and a big name school to boost your attendance and your revenue. So to me, the Alabama State thing was probably a business decision. Like I said, Valley the next week could have been homecoming, and then you go into your bye week off of the Valley game, and then the Magic City Classic. Maybe they wanted to space, maybe they wanted a little extra time in between those two events. Jackson State just fell right there. So I, like I said, as a fan, a player, I don't fault JSU for taking that personally. Like I said, when Pine Bluff scheduled Southern for homecoming last year, everybody in Baton Rouge that followed Southern was like circling that game on their calendar because they felt like that was a slap in the face. And, Southern probably played their best game of the year that year. But, it's one of those things that I can see both sides of. But personally, I'll give me that run win, man, so I can, go watch the game, watch blowout, go about my business and get ready for the next game, which probably will be a tougher game. So let me know how you feel about homecoming. If it's a slap in the face to be scheduled as a homecoming opponent. Pine Bluff is officially homecoming bait this year. I think they have quite a few teams had them scheduled for homecoming this year. So, if you get scheduled multiple times for homecoming, how does that make you feel? But, easy game, hard game, let me know, rivalry, a one-time opponent, just, however you feel about homecoming as a whole, let me know what you think about that. And we'll see, like I said, the attention for this game is already drummed up. So, I hope the turnout is great. Alabama State, we don't know what kind of team they're gonna be, how they're gonna be. So it could be a very entertaining game, if we get to that point. JSU beat Alabama State last year 28-7 for their homecoming, and that game was close for a half. So will it be close again? We'll see. And that's gonna kind of do it for our football odds and ends. The Legacy Bowl is Saturday. Practices have been going on. I think yesterday was the first practice. There's a lot of reports going on right now about how guys are looking. Today I think was the second practice. So I will be there. So if you're at the Legacy Bowl, holler at me. Hopefully there's a good turnout. There's still a lot of tickets available. I believe, I know the last time I looked, there are tickets that start at $10. So if you want to go, and it's in New Orleans at Ullman Stadium at Tulane University. So if you're in the area and you want to come through, man, cop a couple tickets or whatever and come through and support, this first time All-Star game. So maybe this can be a thing that can continue over time. But this is a good avenue for guys to get an opportunity to be seen by scouts, and just another opportunity to play football again. So that's pretty much, like I said, my football odds and ends. We're gonna jump directly into basketball. We're approaching the home stretch. There are 3 weekends left in SWAC basketball. Everybody has 5 games left, so everybody have 4 games. 2-game trips, 1 homestand, 1 road trip, and then a game against their travel partner that's left. So 4 games against other opponents, 1 game against your travel partner, and that makes for 5 games. So we're coming into the home stretch. It's been a pretty interesting season. Not much has been really changed in any of the standings. There's been some movement, but not a lot. JSU continues to dominate on the women's side. And we'll look at the standings briefly, but we're not going to go too in depth on that. But we'll start off with TSU and Grambling. Oh no, excuse me, that was the Saturday game. Let me get myself right. Let me get this together, man. I don't want to read again that we already talked about before. So, where is this crazy? Here we go. All right. Well, we'll stick with TSU. They was able to defeat Southern 87-77. Southern is now on a 3-game losing streak, and they've dropped from second place to third place. They are reeling right now. TSU climbed up into a tie for third with Southern, and they're playing very good basketball right now. This was their second big win over the Louisiana schools this weekend, so a big game for them. Southern was led by Amani McWayne with 18 points. She had 3 rebounds. Genovia Johnson had 17 points and 4 rebounds for Southern. And Jordan Akins had 11 points off the bench for Southern and 4 rebounds. Southern had 31 rebounds, 32 fouls, 9 assists, 15 turnovers, 1 block, and 9 steals. They shot 45% from the field, 31% from 3, and 54% from the free throw line. That free throw shooting was a killer. I know Southern missed quite a few layups in this game, but, TSU is just playing great basketball right now. Southern had 36 points in the paint, 18 points off of turnovers, 10 second chance points, 2 fast break points, and 30 bench points. Ataya Bridges led TSU again. She had 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Big game for her. She played all 40 minutes. Huge game for her. 11 of 12 from the line. 12 points for Alicia Knight. 3 rebounds. Jada Perry had a double-double with 10 points and 12 rebounds. Adriana Avent, 32 points off the bench. That's a microwave, man. That's heating up. She did play 31 minutes, so she played a lot of minutes off the bench. But 32 points, 9 of 14 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. That's a tremendous effort. 3 rebounds, 2 steals. TSU had 36 rebounds, 20 fouls, 11 assists, 19 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 5 steals. 48% from the field, 52% from 3. They were scorching from 3. 82% from the line. Great shooting night all around for the Lady Tigers. 24 points in the paint, 12 points over turnovers, 6 second chance points, 2 fast break points, and 38 bench points. 32 of those points came from one player, but hey, that's a good bench scoring mark. Alabama State defeated Valley by a score of 90-77. That's another high scoring game. There's been quite a few high scoring games the last few weeks on the women's side. Valley was led by Sarah Moore. She had a double-double, 19 points and 16 rebounds. She also had 1 block, 15 points for Kirsten Hunt. She had 3 rebounds as well. 13 points for Michaela Etienne. 11 points and 3 rebounds for Zakaya Mahoney. And 10 points for Ronnie Williams. 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Big game for her. She had a triple-double earlier this year, and she was very nearly there on another one. Valley shot 37% from the field, 26% from 3, and 64% from the line. They had 30 points in the paint, 13 points over turnovers, 23 second chance points, 14 fast break points, and 39 bench points. This game had 3 ties and 3 lead changes. Ayana Emanuel and Jayla Crawford both had 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists for Emanuel. 13 points for Shamaya Ward. She had 9 rebounds to lead the team. Taisha Rudolph also had 9 rebounds and 12 points. So she chipped in those numbers off the bench. The Lady Hornets had 45 rebounds, 20 fouls, 22 assists, 15 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 8 steals. They shot 47% from the field, 26% from 3, and 65% from the line. 52 points in the paint, 25 points over turnovers, 15 second chance points, 11 fast break points, and 32 bench points. JSU, you already know what they did. They ran through another opponent. This time they defeated Bethune Cookman 83-64. Game was fairly close in the first half. Bethune Cookman was in the game, but JSU had a huge third quarter to pull away. Kayla White led the Lady Wildcats with 15 points and 4 rebounds. Morgan Beecham, 14 points and 5 rebounds. Tanya White, 10 points and 2 rebounds. Kamari Harris had 14 points off the bench for the Lady Wildcats. Kayla Clark had 9 rebounds to pace the team. They had 34 total rebounds, 19 fouls, 9 assists, 13 turnovers, 1 block, and 5 steals. They shot 38% from the field, 33% from 3, and 66% from the line. 26 points in the paint, 17 points off of turnovers, 9 second chance points, 9 fast break points, and 20 bench points. This game had 4 ties and 6 lead changes. So early, this was a back and forth affair. JSU just wears you down. It's hard to keep pace with them for 40 minutes, and teams are just not able to go the distance with them. Misha Williams, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 6 blocks, huge game. 14 points for Maya Crump, 5 rebounds for her. Deja Rogan, 10 points. And Deja Woodard had 15 points and 8 rebounds off the bench. Jackson State had 46 rebounds, 12 fouls, 18 assists, 13 turnovers, 7 blocks, and 7 steals. They shot 50% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, 62% from the free throw line. So one of their better three-point shooting efforts on the season. Free throw shooting was kind of not as where it normally would be, but they got their typical 46 points in the paint, 13 points over turnovers, 17 second chance points, 5 fast break points, and 28 bench points. Again, big effort for JSU as they continue to roll. Nobody's going to catch them. I mean, let's just keep it real. They're pretty much, the SWAC champ. They haven't officially clinched, but they have to lose 5 games for Alabama State to win the conference. So that's not happening. They're not about to lose 5 straight. You could say any given day or whatever, but that's not happening. So JSU is pretty much a SWAC women's champ for the 2021-2022 season. So they haven't officially been crowned, but after the next week and a half or so, they will be the official champs. Let's see. That's not. I don't know why that should not be there. Grambling defeated Prairie View by a score of 65-64, and for some reason, it's giving me the Southern Prairie View box score. This game is all messed up with that information. So big victory for Grambling. Nice win to rebound from their loss to TSU. FAMU defeated Alcorn by a score of 60-58. Battle of 2 teams who are not really going anywhere, but FAMU picked up a big victory. Anasia Harris, 22 points. Tia Bradshaw, 17 points and 5 rebounds. Stasia Allen, 11 points and 16 rebounds. So she had a great night on the boards. Jamarian Blair had 9 rebounds. Mallory Brooks had 8. 49 rebounds for the Lady Rattlers. They did a great job on the boards. 16 fouls, 8 assists, 18 turnovers, 1 block, and 6 steals. They shot 28% from the field, so not a good night shooting. They did have 21 offensive boards. So as you can see, they missed quite a few shots, but they got a lot of second chance opportunities. They shot 33% from the three-point line and 70% from the free throw line. Not a great shooting night at all, but the rebounding was really good. They had 18 points in the paint, 23 points off of turnovers, 12 second chance points, 5 fast break points, and 3 bench points. This game at one time, 3 lead changes. Larae Roscoe led Alcorn she had 14 points for Alcorn and 5 rebounds, 4 assists. 13 points for Zanaya White and 6 rebounds. Tanaje Wright led Alcorn with 16 points and 5 rebounds. Akariel Ford, she had 9 rebounds to lead the Lady Braves, 38 rebounds for the team, 20 fouls, 13 assists, 21 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 4 steals. They shot 37% from the field, 35% from 3, and 63% from the line. Not a good shooting night for either team. Nobody could really get anything to go down, and this was just a kind of a war of attrition. 24 points in the paint for Alcorn, 20 points over turnovers, 3 second chance points, 15 fast break points, and 28 bench points. Final game of the night, Alabama A&M defeated Pine Bluff by a score of 56-50. Really close game. Pretty close throughout. But Pine Bluff just could not get over the hump against Alabama A&M. Zay Green, 20 points and 12 rebounds for the Lady Lions, and 11 points for Sade Hudson as the only other double-digit scorer. 32 rebounds, 18 fouls, 6 assists, 14 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 9 steals. They shot 34% from the field, 21% from three, and 47% from the line. Like I always say, 6-point game, you was 11 or 23 from the field, from the free throw line. You make a few of those and maybe make a 3 or 2, and you win this game. Just the shooting just really hurt them a lot. 22 points in the paint, 14 points over turnovers, 3 second chance points, and 15 bench points. This game had 4 ties. Alabama then was led by DeJarrodJones with 19 points and 3 assists. Dariana Lewis, 13 points and 18 rebounds, big double-double for her. And Jada Clowers had 9 rebounds and 8 points as the third leading scorer on the team. So they only had 2 people in double digits as well. They had 50 rebounds, 18 fouls, 18 assists, 20 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 2 steals. 38% shooting from the field, 30% from three, and 46 from the line. Oof, that was tough. But they found a way to survive shooting that bad from the free throw line. 22 points in the paint, 10 points over turnovers, 11 second chance points, 2 fast break points, and 8 bench points. And that does it for our Monday games. We'll take a quick look at the schedule for Saturday as we head into the home stretch. Like I said, there's only 3 weekends left. The season is fast approaching its end, and a lot of teams are gonna have to make a headway. Jackson State is at Alcorn. Prairie View is at Arkansas Pine Bluff. There's a 12 o'clock tip-off. Alabama A&M is at Bethune Cookman. 1 p.m. tip-off. Alabama State is at FAMU. Also 1 p.m. tip-off. Texas Southern is at Valley. That's a 2 p.m. tip-off. And Grambling is at Southern for a 3 p.m. tip-off. Take a quick look at the standings. Like I said, we're not going to go too in-depth, but we'll take a look at it. JSU 13-0. They are on their way to an undefeated season. Now, they may stumble, but I don't really see it right now. They lead Alabama State by 4 full games. Alabama State is 9-4. Southern dropped from second place earlier last week into a 3-way tie for third. Excuse me, a 4-way tie for third. They're tied with Prairie View at 8-5, Alabama A&M at 8-5, and TSU at 8-5. Grambling is 7-6. Pine Bluff is 6-7. And they will have the 8th spot right now. Bethune Cookman and FAMU are on the outside looking in right now. They're 4-9. They really need to make a move at some point if they want to get into the tournament. Valley is 2-11, and Alcorn is 1-12. So both of those teams are pretty much out of the race for that last spot. So everybody's playing basically for 2 through 8. JSU has number 1 locked up, and they'll be waiting and sitting and waiting for the tournament as they play their way through these final 4 games. Moving on to the men's side, very interesting Monday. There were a couple games that were some upsets. There were not a lot of movement in the standings. Some things shook out, some things did not. But we'll start off with Alabama A&M beating Pine Bluff 74-69. They won a big game for them in terms of standings. Sean Williams had 28 points for Pine Bluff, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. He was 6 of 16 from 3. He shot the ball a ton. He had 20 shots on the night, man. He let it fly all night. 15 points for Daquan Morris and 8 rebounds, and 10 points and 3 rebounds for Kylan Milton. Pine Bluff had 31 rebounds on the night, 20 fouls, 13 assists, 11 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 10 steals. They shot 39% from the field, 31% from 3, and 66% from the line. 26 points in the paint, 26 points over turnovers, 11 second chance points, 6 fast break points, and 15 bench points. This game had 9 ties and 2 lead changes. Anjay Cortez led the Bulldogs with 21 points and 9 rebounds. Jalen Johnson, 17 points and 5 rebounds. Cameron Tucker, 12 points and 6 rebounds. Dalen Smith had 7 rebounds as well for the team. They had 45 rebounds as a whole. 14 fouls, 15 assists, 14 turnovers, 1 block, and 3 steals. They shot 43% from the field, 8% from three. They were 1 of 12. Not a good shooting night at all from behind the arc. And 21 of 23 from the line for 91%. So that's a big, big factor right there in that W. 40 points in the paint, 14 points off a turnover, 12 second chance points, 2 fast break points, and 10 bench points. Big win for the Bulldogs. Alcorn defeated FAMU as they dropped FAMU down the standings a little bit by a score of 68-58. Cameron Reeves had 10 points for the Rattlers. Keith Dominguez Stevens led the Rattlers with 12 points. And Johnny Brown had 11 points and 6 rebounds for the team. MJ Randolph scored 8 points on the night, and he had 9 rebounds to pace the team. 39 rebounds for the Rattlers, 17 fouls, 9 assists, 15 turnovers, 6 blocks, and 4 steals. They shot 32% from the field, 33% from three, and 72% from the line. 22 points in the paint, 11 points off of turnovers, 7 second chance points, 8 fast break points, and 16 bench points. Darius Agnew led Alcorn with 14 points, and Keandre Montgomery had 11 points as their only 2 double-digit scores. Dontrell McQuarter had 8 rebounds for Alcorn to lead the team. They had 43 rebounds as a whole, 16 fouls, 15 assists, 11 turnovers, 1 block, and 5 steals. They shot 44% from the field, 31% from three, and 61% from the free throw line to earn a season split against FAMU. 34 points in the paint, 16 points off of turnovers, 15 points off of second chance points, 12 fast break points, and 31 bench points. At one point, Alcorn led by 20 points going into the half. FAMU was able to outscore them in the second half to make the margin a little bit closer. Jackson State picked up another big victory to boost themselves up into the middle of the standings with a 71-51 victory over Bethune Cookman. Bethune Cookman was led by Joe French with 16 points, and Marcus Garrett had 13 points. Kevin Davis led the team with 6 rebounds. The Wildcats only had 26 rebounds on the night, 14 fouls, 8 assists, 5 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 9 steals. Really good game taking care of the ball at least. They shot 34% from the field, 20% from three, and 44% from the line. Just a really bad night for them as a whole. 26 points in the paint, 13 points over turnovers, 13 second chance points, no fast break points, and 13 bench points. This game did have 1 tie and 4 lead changes as the game was settling in early. Ken Evans led Jackson State with 22 points, and Colty Young was their only other double-digit scorer with 14 points. Evans had a double-double. He also had 10 rebounds and 2 assists. Terrence Lewis had 8 rebounds and 9 points as their third leading scorer and their second leading rebounder. Jackson State had 41 rebounds, 15 fouls, 17 assists, 14 turnovers, no blocks, and 3 steals. They shot 57% from the field, 47% from three, and 71% from the line. 28 points in the paint, 4 points over turnovers, 2 second chance points, 9 fast break points, and 28 bench points. Big victory for JSU, keeping themselves in the mix. Prairie View defeated Grambling by a score of 71-70. Prairie View is heating up. Like I said, they may, there's no telling where they're going to finish right now, but they are a dangerous team right now. In the conference, you want to really be wary of where they are. They can, really be a tough team to beat. As the conference comes into its final stretch, they can be a tough team to face off in the tournament. So big victory for them. Shondarius Coward led Grambling with 20 points. Tremichael Moulton had 16 points for Grambling, 4 rebounds. AJ Taylor had 8 rebounds to lead the team and 11 points. And Prince Moss had 10 points. Grambling 37 rebounds, 26 fouls, 12 assists, 16 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 6 steals. They shot 40% from the field, 35% from the 3-point line, and 69% from the free throw line. They had 34 points in the paint, 17 points over turnovers, 10 second chance points, 12 fast break points, and 26 bench points. This game had 6 ties and 11 lead changes. William Douglas led Prairie View with 23 points and 7 rebounds. 17 points for Jeremiah Gambrell, 14 points for Dwayne Cox, and Jawan Daniels had a double-double with 12 points and 12 rebounds. He also had 5 assists. Nice game for him. 41 rebounds for the Panthers, 21 fouls, 13 assists, 16 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 6 steals. Prairie View shot 41% from the field, 37% from 3, and 63% from the line. They had 20 points in the paint, 13 points off of turnovers, 15 second chance points, 19 fast break points, and 5 bench points. So a big victory for Prairie View. They starting to heat up again. They had a little stumbling point, but they're starting to heat up again. They're going to be very dangerous heading into these last 5 games. Southern defeated TSU by a score of 70-58, giving Southern their first season sweep of Texas Southern since like 2005 or 2006. So it's been quite some time since Southern was able to pick up a season sweep over the Tigers. Southern was able to control this game after falling behind by 10 points. They went on a big run in the second half and held TSU off for the rest of the way. Tyrone Lyons led Southern with 18 points and 4 rebounds. Jaden Sadler and Damian Sears each had 12 points. Sears led the team with 5 rebounds on the night. Sadler had 5 assists to lead the team. Southern had 34 rebounds, 23 fouls, 9 assists, 9 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 11 steals. They shot 44% from the field, 38% from 3, 72% from the free throw line. They had 30 points in the paint, 19 points over turnovers, 6 second chance points, 31 bench points. This game had 1 tie and 2 lead changes. Southern's largest lead at one point was 15 points with 7 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the second half. Justin Hopkins had 10 points for Texas Southern. Jordan Carl Nicholas led the Tigers with 14 points. He also had 4 rebounds. Jordan Gilliam had 7 rebounds to pace the team. And John Walker had 12 points off the bench. TSU had 37 rebounds, 20 fouls, 12 assists, 19 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 1 steal. They shot 36% from the field, 21% from 3, and 77% from the line. They had 24 points in the paint, 6 points over turnovers, 8 second chance points, 30 bench points. Their largest lead was 10 points in the first quarter. With about 14 minutes and 28 seconds to go, they had a 18-8 lead. Southern was able to claw their way back in and take charge late in the first half and pick up a big victory to boost themselves into a sole possession of first place right now. Valley, big victory on the road against Alabama State by 14 points, 85-71. Big victory for Valley. They need some success. They've been in a lot. They've been in pretty much every game they played. They came up with a 4 overtime loss to Alabama A&M on Saturday, so they were able to bounce back and pick up a big victory. Terry Collins led the team with 24 points and 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 6 of 9 from 3. Caleb Hunter, 20 points. He had 4 steals and 4 rebounds and 8 assists. Big game for him. He was 5 of 10 from 3. Gary Grant had 15 points and 6 rebounds and 5 assists. David McCoy, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Daniel Umora, 9 rebounds for Valley. Valley had 32 rebounds total, 16 fouls, 21 assists. They did a great job sharing the basketball. 13 turnovers. That's a really good assist to turnover ratio. 3 blocks and 5 steals. They shot 54% from the field, 56% from 3. They were 10 of 16 in the first half. They shot 62% from the 3-point line in the first half and 68% from the free throw line. They had 22 points in the paint, 11 points over turnovers, 6 second chance points, 14 fast break points, and 7 bench points. They had 2 ties and 5 lead changes. Kenny Strawbridge led Alabama State with 18 points and 4 rebounds. Isaiah Range, 14 points and 4 rebounds. And E.J. Clark, 12 points and 3 rebounds. Their leading rebounder was Jordan O'Neal with 5. The Hornets had 32 rebounds, 14 fouls, 17 assists, 9 turnovers, 1 block, and 8 steals. Both teams did a really good job distributing the ball in this game and not a lot of turnovers. So that was 22 turnovers between the two teams is not that bad. Alabama State shot 43% from the field, 17% from 3. That's not good. And 72% from the free throw line. They had 36 points in the paint, 15 points off of turnovers, 14 second chance points, 17 fast break points, and 17 bench points. But Valley picked up a nice victory for them, kind of just to kind of see that they can have some success after, really struggling all year. But they were in pretty much every game they had except for maybe 2 or 3 games. Looking at the schedule for Saturday, big games on the schedule right here. Alabama A&M is at Bethune Cookman. Jackson State is at Alcorn. That's a huge game for Alcorn in terms of the standings. JSU, can still kind of make some moves, so that's a big game for them. TSU is at Valley. Alabama State is at FAMU. FAMU needs to get back on track. They stumbled the last few weeks, so they need a W to keep themselves in the race. Grambling is at Southern. That's a big game. Southern trying to keep hold of that first place. Grambling trying to stay in the mix. And Prairie View is at Pine Bluff. Prairie View is they're coming up. They cannot afford to stumble anymore right now. Looking at where they sit in that 8th spot right now. So they need W's. They need to try to play themselves out of that. Play themselves into as best of a seed as they can. And they have some time to do that. Southern is 10-3 right now. They're in first place. Texas Southern and Alcorn are 9-4. Right now, at this point, Alcorn has the tiebreaker over TSU because they beat them head-to-head. So if this was the tournament, the seeds would flop. Alcorn would be 2, TSU would be 3. FAMU and Grambling are tied for 4th place at 8-5. Jackson State, Alabama A&M, and Prairie View are 6 and 7. And those are the final 3 spots, 6, 7, and 8. They're all 6 and 7. Bethune Cookman is right on the outside, along with Alabama State at 5 and 8. They can make a move if somebody stumbles. Pine Bluff is 4 and 9. They're not out of it, but it's getting late early, like they like to say. And Valley is 2 and 11. So Valley is pretty much the only team right now that's out. I mean, if something crazy happened, they might be able to work themselves back in. But right now they're on the outside. Pine Bluff, Alabama State, and Bethune Cookman do have a good shot. And there are some games that are left on the schedule that can help them get in. Alabama A&M and Bethune Cookman play. That's a big standings game right there. So that's going to do it for today's show. As usual, if you check out, toward this point in the video or a little bit later, you'll see the subscription button pop up. Once you go ahead and hit that, if you haven't done so already. And then there are some video recommendations that are going to pop up on the other side. So some things that you may not have seen or you want to see again. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, like videos, share them, comment, and hit that notification bell, all that YouTube lingo. Go ahead and take care of that. Tomorrow, SWAC Smoke live, 6 p.m. as usual, 7 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, our full basketball recap with our deep dive into the standings and starting to look at how the seedings would take place if the tournament would start on Sunday. So that's where we stand. So hopefully you guys have a good Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow for SWAC Smoke. I'm your tour guide, C. Wells. Stop the bus. Hop on out. Y'all enjoy yourself, and I'm going to holler. Peace.